Hello from Mindpads. TOK essay November 2017. Topic number 2. Every theory destabilizes as much as it solidifies our view of the world. Nathan Jorgensen. Discuss. Modernity has long been obsessed with, perhaps even defined by, its epistemic insecurity. It's grasping towards big truths that ultimately disappoint as our world grows only less knowable. New knowledge and new ways of understanding simultaneously produce new forms of no knowledge, new uncertainties and mysteries. The scientific method, based in deduction and falsifiability, is better at proliferating questions than it is at answering them. For instance, Einstein's theories about the curvature of space and motion and the quantum level provide new knowledge and generates new unknowns that previously could not be pondered. Knowledge question 1. How do theories solidify our view about the world? A theory is a set of interrelated concepts and definitions specifying relationship between the variables that explain, predict, and provide a systematic way of understanding events, behaviors, and situations. Without the theory, without knowing the causation and the whys, without understanding whys and the hows, the data is hard to interpret and it is almost impossible to predict. Consequently, a hypothesis based on an established theory is an educated guess and has a greater chance of being correct. Since theories summarize and organize a great deal of information by connecting facts and giving them meaning, by building a framework so broad in scope that can relate and compare to other research studies, wide range of situations and areas, which is important in research and progress in sciences, where researchers build on each other's work. The data in itself can only suggest correlation. Even with using enormous amounts of data for speak for itself, there is a case of implicit theorizing without knowing. Without testing the underlying assumptions, pure data cannot possibly substitute for hard thinking. For additional content, read more at Mindpads.org. Knowledge question 2. To what extent do you agree that our world grows only less knowable? In the book The End of Theory, Richard Buchstaber argues that our world is subject to 4 important phenomena that makes traditional models useless. The first being emergent phenomena. Emergence occurs when system-wide dynamics arise unexpectedly out of the activities of individuals in a way that is not simply an aggregation of that behavior. The sum of human interactions can produce unexpected results that are not related to the intentions of the individuals involved, just as traffic on a motorway can bunch, or crowds can suddenly stampede. The second phenomenon is non-ergodicity. An ergodic process follows the same rule every time. If you roll a traditional dice, the odds of getting a 3 will always be 1 in 6. But in the world of human interactions, probabilities constantly change. They do not follow the same probabilities today as they did in the past and will in the future. The third phenomenon is known as radical uncertainty. People do not know the range or the probability of future outcomes. Uncertainty is radical when it cannot be expressed or anticipated, when we're dealing with unknown unknowns. The last of the phenomena is computational irreducibility. The future and behavior is so complex and the effect of human interactions is so unfathomable and profound that people cannot possibly create models to anticipate the outcome. The behavior and interaction between the constituents in the world is so complex and profound that there is no mathematical shortcut for determining how they will evolve. Precision and focus in addressing the known comes at the cost of reduced ability to address the unknown. Alternatively put, don't rely on optimization based on past data. Instead, use heuristics. Knowledge question 3. How are new ways of understanding producing uncertainties and mysteries in the area of human sciences? The systemic behavior that emerges from social interactions is inherently unpredictable as the context for making decisions is always changing, reflecting our own actions and those of others. The existing theories and models between the agents cannot capture the endless complexity of multidimensional networks. For example, in behavioral economics, the attempts to model a less rational man are merely incremental expansions of the definition of self-interest. But these agents, players, and networks interact in unexpected ways with strong involvement of emotions, fear and panic, for example, that can create feedback loops that change the market itself, bringing about unforeseeable outcomes through cascading effect. Systemic interactions are not properly accounted for in the current theories that underpin most models. Our varied memories and imaginations color our economic, social, and political behavior in unexpected hues. Most of the underlying assumptions in building these models render them too simplistic to apply to the real-world issues and understandings. The deductive application of mathematics has by itself become the weakness and limitation of theories and models. According to Richard Buxton, we face a changing world. In turn, changes the context which we view the world, and that changes us, again all the more during periods of crisis. The critical implication is that we cannot plug numbers into a model and solve for the future. We have to embrace the complexity and understand the way the system operates and not have too much faith in mathematical infallibility. Maybe the theories or models have to be more heuristic in nature to capture the complexity in reality. That's all for today.